very well though. There we go. Ish. Cool. Alright, so continue cleaning. Don't know if you can hear me, but hello. And yeah. Alright. See? It wouldn't. Aha! That'll work for now. Cool. I gotta sit here and talk anyways. All I'm doing is cleaning. Moving shit around. Jump. But alright, so Wednesday. A few things that have caught my interest and all that, you know, but mainly it's the presence of I don't know, it'll come to me. Or it won't. But yeah. So yeah. Alright. Like I said, I'm moving some junk around. Cleaning some space. And yeah. I'm gonna do some readings and mainly I was interlocking all my different channels and excuse me, sorry. All the different channels and you know, I do got the TikTok stuff now, so meh. That's the thing. Really never saw that one coming, but I was adamant against it too. Yeah. Hi. And yeah, so this thing is un momento por favor. Aha, there we go. So no worries. Hey, have a good day at work. Yeah, appreciate it. Lost my train of thought. Had to answer a call, and then right. So that thing on the screen is what I call the hearth, and you know I suppose the two individuals there would be, you know, myself, and then myself, you know, or you know, us and God, or whatever you really want it to be. So that's the whole thing. Like it is place without need or comfort, need of comfort. That too. So it's a good spot. It's the hearth, man. It's goodness. What I'm working on right now is cleaning, getting some of the craft space a little bit more, less junky, you know, cleaning up some. So yeah, they're kind of contrasted between ideas and thoughts and what the whimsy brings, but you know it's been beautiful things, man. It really has. And crazy thing. All right, so talking about whimsy shit. Microwaves don't use heat. No heat in the microwave. It's fucking crazy. I say that because you know the vibration and the frequency that the microwave is literally sound how it manipulates the water molecules. Water molecules vibrate. That causes friction. That causes heat. Stuff gets hot, but there's no heat. It makes me so mad. It really does. Like, not mad in a mad way, but mad like madness. You gotta boom shakalaka the dome. Yeah, gotta put one in their food for thought. That's that microwave. Plugging it in. So, and if the light goes out, it still works, but it doesn't work as well. And then sound travels along light as if it was liquid. The bioluminescent plasma, the stuff behind the stuff. So, yeah, just cool thing. I got some of my new writings, and I was gonna read it after I kind of finish cleaning up from the area. And I like to talk about those things, so it is pretty neat. I had another thing. So fish bowls, right? Swimming around in the fish bowl, fish's cycle. And that's just a little kind of funny thing that I can't get over because it's fucking hilarious, the fish's cycle. Swimming around in a fish bowl, you got nowhere to go, just trapped, and then makes me think of selfish, how selfishness is a cell in which we put our little fishy. And me being a fish, it's the moniker of Pisces gives you a little bit of everything and not enough of something. It's just you learn to live with it because it's okay. Be comfortable in your skin, and it's okay not to be comfortable in your skin. Nobody's telling you what to do. That's the beautiful part about it. Nobody is actually just telling you what to do or how to be or just be, just do. It's yeah. So a little bit of Wednesday whimsy I speak on. When we go into these realms of thought and extrapolated, metaphysical dimensions that are other but all just kind of fractalized self, we have this strangeness that comes about to where we don't really know what is happening. And the more we try to figure out, the kind of deeper we get mucked into the cosmic jelly. So when that kind of comes about, just it's okay to be still. It's like that quicksand shit. Like kind of the more you fight, the deeper you sink, or whatever. I don't know. It's no need for fancy words or little monikers or anything like that. So yeah, just cool things. I did get the book done. It's right here. I suppose I could turn off the backdrop for now, but yeah. So there's that, and it's doing good. It's good. Like, oh fuck, I love writing. I just the process of bringing it to life, watching it take on its own life. It's really cool. So yeah, that's the space, man. That's the space of just being next to creation without having the need to pick up the hammer. Like it's It's good stuff. Good stuff. Presence, grace given by breath. Be the green grape. Damn it. So, that being said, I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but I keep getting distracted or one or the other. It does make me wonder sometimes, though, like words that we use and the metaphors and allegories of whatever that we can't really explain. It sits there without any expectation and without anticipation. And in that moment, we kind of relinquish that hold on the mantle. The mantle not of, not the armor of God, but the armor we've made, trying to survive, trying to, persevere. So when you have all this going on and it finally gets to be other than the self, and you start kind of realizing that's the burden of Atlas, right? That's what weighs us down, the weight of knowing, the weight of perceiving beyond the veil, and it's okay. It's okay. God's still there, and He never left. When you turn around and see the open arms of love and goodness, of grace. Yeah, not just out there, but all through here, and then here. So yeah, need to do that more, and yeah, kind of just sit with the whimsy of things. So, what are you doing? What can you do that is purely yours? Like, do it yourself, DIY. Do it yourself in the sense that when we're tossing wishes in the wishing well, who are we wishing to? Because it's not quite a prayer. It's protected by a prayer, but it's definitely other, right? Not talking to God, but talking to somebody, and I feel like that somebody's us. That's that wish, that's that whimsy, that belief, that inner child, that wishing not for something else, but wish just to be. It's good stuff, good stuff, and yeah. So just kind of give it back, to yourself and pat on the back. You're doing okay. Doing good. Keep getting better. Keep getting full with the breath of life, the pursuit, not pursuit, but the goodness behind what makes us good. That's another thing, like when we always bring God our problems or make God the problem, and we really just lash out way too much for all the love and the grace that we've received, and when you do stop fighting, when you do let the warrior rest, when you hang up the sword, you let the you let peace come into being, and not a piece of you know loss of battlefield or loss of the need for a fight. No, 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 no. I mean peace that's no enemies, no harm, and that's what I wanted with the green screen. And that's what this is. That's what this base is. That's what the grove leads to. It is no longer this blissful creation in nature. It is much, much more. When you get a little deeper, it becomes something that is the threshold to that right there. Being present. And who's sitting there too? Who do you see? Who do you see? Which you is it? Because when we come to the hearth, when we come to a knowing that is beyond need, beyond want, beyond just beyond. That's like the asking existence what it is, and they ask what the question is. So, yeah, it's not for entertainment, but talking is self-talk. It makes it okay to be right there, and why shouldn't it be? Something that we don't often do enough is be okay just sitting still, sitting by yourself, content, and being content in what was given. Yeah. Otherwise, though, I mean, there's some good stuff flowing, and bring some back to back to it all. So with whimsy, push your thought bounds, push what made the child want to play. And that's what we need to remember on this. What is a Wednesday? Where does the wind blow? Are we sailing the high seas? Are we traveling mountains? Are we cascading to the moon? Or float with it. Don't the feather no longer falls but dances in its gliding. So just enjoy that. I want to continue doing what I was doing, but I just wanted to come and actually show the hearth as is, and I ask you that whimsical notion of who's the child at play still, and who's sitting there, who keeps you company when there is none. And these aren't things that has to be answered either. It's okay. It's good stuff. Yeah. So just be well, be unencumbered with all those things that add up to be burdens, regardless of whose. It's not needed in this place, in this space, and that is within. That's where all of our work begins, is within all of our world, all of everything that is whimsical, and all the magic is, in this. Yeah, so I'll turn that off again. It's making the glitchy stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I don't want you thinking that there's ever a time when alone is too much, or that drifting, or loss, or whatever the case may be. Because coming through, picking up, you know, back in the field, just speaks, and yeah, what I hear, what I feel, and what I see is more coming back to the earth. There's not a undoing of self, but the unmaking of the mass we told ourselves to be. Yeah. Not. That's what I'm saying. The whole mantle method is taking down the mantle, taking down the need for title or sustenance, even. And like all of that kind of just diminishes when we get back to God, and when we get back to this earth that just offers true warmth, true presence. And much like the Spirit Tree Grove, it is a sacred space. It is something that is not owned or claimed by anyone or anything. It just is, because we made it so. And this new making and unmaking, unmasking, dismantling, all of that, everything can be remembered without the pretense of anticipation, expectation, or assumption. It's all of that kind of just goes. And that's the thing, like, regardless if you want it or not, God is good, and He's good to us. We should be good to Him. What I mean is, when we finally do sit still, and we hear His voice, we feel His Spirit, instead of asking for anything, or instead of remarking or acknowledging, or just even talking at times, just sit still, let God be with you in the moment. He enjoys taking in the sunlight too. He enjoys the that hush after beautiful poetry. So, and part of that, I did want to share some of my writings before I kind of get away and go back to doing what I was doing, but I felt like before I continued on the talks of the tick, the tick talks, so I know it's fucking stupid, but yeah, something I could give to this space that is, becoming, that already was. And in that this is, a rough draft of book 2 material, and it very much so. I didn't know it until actually coming back to it, and that's what's wild, that kind of where you are in spirituality, you kind of create in the myth and legends that you fantasize and do with the world building. And for me, being a writer, it's fucking emblematical of what is. And fuck, man, sometimes it just hits home in a different kind of way. But yeah, so to share a little bit of whimsy, to gift a little bit of creation, and hopefully it lends to creation and a craft that you can call your own and do it yourself. And it's okay to ask for help. It's good. We have our guardians. We have our protection. We have God on our side. So just yeah, just breathe, be well, in being. Right. The night was marred by the smeared paint stroke of gods to blur the splendor, imperfect perfection that could be called our lively cosmic canopy. Only as these nights could once see the breath of wonder and longing with knowing truly there must be more. Serenity, peace, purpose, the craven needs of man, yet always a finger further, tip of the tongue. The soul stands resolute to preserve the melancholy and disdain. Only when we lose what nodding we have does it become valuable. That which has never been longed for met with hesitation when freely given. A chilled and wistful breeze pierced through the trees, telling stories from mountains and tales of snow and unmaking. Having come so far to find, having no place to go, found lost in wonder and basked in wonder. The sounds of twigs snapping alerted the captain to a presence of approach. Even though his body urged the movement and the mind utters the experience of years honed to an edge, he quivered slightly at the thought of having drawn swords. Yet Drake found himself unbothered, cared not for what may come next. The very breath in his lungs became burdensome, however quelled thoughts and muddled boorish. Quite the festivities, your absence has been noticed. The voice fair and light. The presence came to press close as a hushed whisper at the edge of one's ear. I can't seem to shake the feeling that I've lost something more precious than time, but I know not what it may be. The wind shifted in recognition, not of the question born from want, but the ache known only to the given. The soft steps brought about ruffling of nature's song, not intrusive, but inclusive to the longing to be enough. The shawl of moss and mirth gave an effervescence that was becoming akin to angelic light. She didn't come to face his knowings, merely to sit with it. The two stood at the edge of forest and fold. A drift of winter could be felt and seen just out of earshot through the withering trees yonder hence. It is, isn't it? Drake forgot the question, but not the answer. He turned his view from death unbecoming and caught whiff of surprise. His men happy and full of laughter surrounded by music. Himself that much closer to a full belly as well. A communion honored, and for a time, stillness not choked by anticipation or beholden to expectation. The grove offered solace in spite of darkness that spoke to depths, roots. The grove offered solace in spite of darkness that spoke to depths well acquainted by roots older still. Why not? Let's eat. The captain of the Buddy Blades relinquished title of security and guardian. He became kindred to the shared kin who spilt blood renewed. And their ascent to pyre banquet and a great burly bear of a man that was the chief could be seen joyous and remarkably light in his reunion with the general. As Drake was escorted nearby, the tone of their smiles suddenly grew grim. He could hear the gravel of Merritt's voice shatter even the moonlight in its quaking. Cyrus, you must. The ache and awe was held as Drake's gazed bewildered gaze locked upon that of a stoic, resolute man chiseled from the very grove to which revelry uplifted the weary. Yet a knowing settled on a soul thought covered with soot. Before words compressed lips to truths unfolding, a flattering, a fluttering of overzealous belching erupted the captain's senses. Paddy, with sloshed ale and hollow eyes, tackled his best friend. Oi, Captain, you's reckon to fight. Give me a go. The lads hollered a raucous, joyous release of hurt held too close. War never ends, not truly. At least not for the warriors until they put up their swords and no longer need to fight the battles of others, only themselves. A poor display of drunken tomfoolery eased tensions and tightened awareness of what is left whole and with pieces. So yeah, that's how I write. That's you know, it's more than just fiction and my prose. It's myth being remade and shared all the same. But you can look for that. It is out there, and it's not really a plug video. It's really just saying hey, and then that's kind of what I wanted to share. I wanted to give back a little bit of whimsy for the Wednesday, man. That's good stuff, and let y'all know it's gonna be all right. We're not pressured to be anything other than us, and the sooner we feel okay being you, being me, being us, being it, sooner the world heals too. Good stuff. Hope y'all are well. Be well and be well and being. Yeah. Kind of send it out. Oof. And then let it be. Shake it off. Breathe. Green grape. Cause the purple grape can't breathe. Don't be purple. Be the green grape. Stupid as hell, I know. But yeah, y'all take care. I'll be back whenever. It's not a daily thing. I know it's wanted to kind of instill that in the sense that even our fantasy selves can grow just as well as we can. So in the world we create, in the world that is us. Give grace, because grace was given. Be well. Full that laughter, that feel that music, feel that song, that special hum that is God just whispering. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'll take care. I'll catch you next time.